better now, or?
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
don't
you do got to
somewhat.
keep it kind of
So I feel
close.
like, all right, so I'll just hold it.
No, don't hold it.
Hold on, let me turn it.
While we're talking
gotta
about Paulie
record
and
this.
Theo,
We
please
print my
do not
night.
hold that.
Hold it. Oh, good shit.
No, just
I
sit
don't-
by it.
Like
Can't
this.
bring it closer to you?
Yeah, I don't know if you're holding it the whole time. It's gonna
Well, you can't really see me, right?
work.
You can't see me holding it right now, though.
No.
No, we
I
can't.
think you meant from the.
Yeah, I thought you were gonna be like gripping it, like.
Come on, guys. Come on, guys. What are we doing here? What are we doing? Is the audio better now? Is it?
You just
you
turned it
muted
off
yours.
with your lips. You just Paulie to Theo the
God
mic.
doesn't like ugly.
Chill. I can tell. All right, so chill.
Nora, the Vendetta Queen, Raquel, the Cutthroat Contessa, and Iraq, the Double Agent.
Start over.
Start over. Well,
Let me just take my lead now. Then
I knew
No,
my
no,
God.
no. You don't.
Okay, I got you. Yes, we wanted the smoke, so let's bring the fire. We're igniting the drama and chaos. This is Matches Mayhem. We are your ride or die host, Nora, the Vendetta Queen, Raquel, the Cutthroat Contessa, Victor, the Duel Master, and Iraq, the Double Agent. Get ready for a reckoning as we dive into the gauntlet of season 40 of the challenge, Battle of the Eras.
Let's go.
All right.
All right. How are we feeling? The season is officially kicked off.
Is it though? Because they left us hanging, so I don't know about that.
Well, on that note, let's get into the 1 minute meltdown. Ready? It's the season 40 premiere. TJ makes an and even CT sheds some happy tears. We're in Vietnam, homies, and the prize, a cool $1 million. But no word yet on teams, pairs, or solos. TJ's keeping us guessing. First shocker, half the house is already up on the chopping block. Lose the daily challenge, and you're headed to elimination. Win, and you get to pick who's screwed. Cara Maria's feeling insecure right off the bat with Laurel ready to reignite their drama. Meanwhile, Nerys and Olivia are still shaky. Tony and Corey haven't gotten over Spaghetti Gate. And Paulie and Theo's first kiss, not exactly a fairy tale ending. Plus, Anissa is one elimination away from the elimination record. Nani and Casey are engaged. Yay. And babies are popping up everywhere. The episode wraps up with feuds, tense deliberations, and a stare down between Paulie and Theo that could lead to Kiss 2 or maybe a knockout. Anissa may be on the outside looking in, Cara's fate is in Laurel's hands, and Amanda still doesn't like Tori, shocked. But no eliminations. Womp womp. That's your recap.
It's just about 60 seconds.
I like the title of it, the Era Invitational. I thought it was a nice touch.
I was just going to say, I just was so ready to jump in that I didn't realize episodes are named. So I should be more demure and mindful about how I watch the challenge.
It was a great first episode though. It was a lot of action, it was a lot of excitement, a lot of what's gonna happen. So I mean, it was a great first episode. I think. What do you guys think?
I think the big takeaway is like how it ended with Paulie and Theo facing off, because that got pretty intense.
I don't think it's much of a face off, because at the end of the day, I'll say it again. I think Theo is probably one of the best challengers they've ever had. That he has the length, he has the strength, endurance, he has the speed. Honestly, I think if Theo really applied himself, I don't think many people could beat him in an elimination or even a challenge if it's a physical challenge, honestly.
Do we know how he is at puzzles and mental, like that part? I can't remember for some reason. Like,
It wasn't a puzzle, but he was in that cage and he was against Johnny, and he ended up beating Johnny. So that was like probably the moment where I was like, he's cool under pressure. He can figure things out. That was a pretty standout point in his challenge career.
I will say that for me, I was a little disappointed is not the word, but it was a little unexpected, because watching the trailers, I thought that it was going to be like, which era is better? So to see people within the eras go against each other, I'm like, wait a second. That just completely like threw me off for a loop, because I wanted to see like era 4. They talk so much BS because they're the newest. So like, are they going to be better than Era 1? But it's just like, to me, it's still, there's a bit of a disconnect because I was aiming for like, which era is better than which era, not like who's better than who.
I'm
That's
wondering
my
if
two
down the
cents.
line, like, because I was thinking the same thing. It kind of is the same storyline because you still need your alliance members. You still are going to backstab people that you're even on a group, like when they used to do it, half and half the house or, for just basic teams. I'm wondering if down the line they'll make it like something where you have to be loyal or something where it's kind of going to hurt them in the end by not being loyal to their own segment.
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
that was pretty evident in what Jordan said in Era 3 during the deliberation, where Tony was trying to make the point of Jordan's the strongest. Do you want to run a final against him? And Jordan's like, well, you got to get there before you even think about who's going to beat me in the final. And so I think it's going to be interesting who plays the short game versus the long game. Tony is trying to play the short game and getting Jordan out right away. And Jordan's like, we got to be the strongest team we can if we're going to go up against these beasts to get to the final. At this point, you want the strongest team. I think that's what Era 1 was, trying to figure out too with, should we throw in Anissa or Jody?
I mean, I agree with Raquel in the sense of when you have these powerhouses like in Era 1 and you're putting them against each other, you're just kind of reigniting all the old beef and drama and flames. And it doesn't really become a competition of Era 1 versus Era 2, 3, or 4. It's more of a fight within yourself. So it's not really a battle of the eras. It's like a battle from within. I think that kind of takes away from it because I think we all want to see which era is truly the best by them going against each other in the eliminations and the duels. So I think it was a missed opportunity, but knowing TJ, there might be a twist somewhere coming down the line where that might happen.
It was interesting because I think that's the challenge, guys. Toying with them is like, are you going to play into your paranoia and start cannibalizing yourselves already? Or are you going to do the smart thing and just keep a strong team? If you didn't do good in the challenge, you got to go into elimination. That's like the fairest way to do it. And not everyone's thinking like that.
So what did we think about the cliffhanger?
Not impressed.
We're all just-
Not impressed. Not impressed. I mean, it was drama, it was beef, it was good, but it's not much. It's not much. It's Paulie, Theo. It's not much going on there.
I kind of wanted a 2-hour episode or something. I don't know. I needed something to really like, maybe because we've been so excited about this and so hyped up about it that I just was like, oh, we're going. Like the minute they start, we're going. And it just kind of, the episode was kind of like, okay.
So I have a big gripe with this. Like, cannot stand episodes that don't end eliminations and in eliminations.
Yeah.
They've been doing these seasons. What the hell am I watching? This isn't Kumbaya Hour. Like, I want the blood. I want somebody to go home. I expect to watch an elimination and somebody to go home. I want bodies out the door. I want people losing left and right. Like, miss me with this to be continued bullshit. I don't want it. Like, I want eliminations. So, listen, if you have to make it 3 hours, I would have watched for 3 hours. If you had to cut out the challenge, like, it was good, but I didn't like that it was in the dark. I couldn't see half the time.
Also, maybe it's how I watched it, and maybe I need to rewatch it. Like the whole, when they got in the little water thing, it seemed like they were going far, but then when you really looked at it, like they're still within talking distance of the shore, so they weren't really. What was the point of the water then? Like, just for the couple weak ones that really didn't know what they, like Katie or whatever, to just have a laugh at them, because the rest of them, it was just like whatever and done. I don't know.
I think because it was dark and the water, maybe it was supposed to create this like disorienting element to it, perhaps. But I was also like thrown off by that because they're not that far from each other. They can hear each other. So I don't think it was as far as like the editing made it seem.
But did anybody shock you guys at who won the first event? It was close between Cara, Maria, and Laurel. It was close.
Always a bridesmaid, never a bride. Poor Cara Marie.
Hey, leave my girl Cara alone. Give her. I mean, she's getting there. She was close. She was on Laurel's heel. And Laurel got too much. You don't got. She's scared. Laurel's obviously scared of Cara Maria. She's terrified.
I
Terrified.
don't even get me started about Carmaria and Laurel drama. There's just something so annoying about it. And it's like the worst part of it all is like you are literally tarnishing your legacy because all I hear about is your drama. It's like, I mean, at a certain point, like, so Carmaria, I feel like Carmaria and Laurel are legends like in their own way. But I can't even get to that because I'm constantly hearing about this drama. And it's just like, don't you want to leave a better legacy than this? There's like so many missed opportunities. And I'm going on a rant a little bit because like it's really annoying how much I have to hear about it. It's like different season, same drama. Why?
You know what? Like, I could say it's getting old, but I love it. I love it. Listen, the first time you see them, Cara's are like, Laurel's here and she doesn't like me. Then Laurel's like, Cara looks following me and mocking her. I was like, give me more of that. They inject into my veins. I love the beef. I can't look away. It's like a car crash. I can't look away. Every time they start talking smack about each other, it's so petty.
I'm going to cut you off here because I feel like it takes away from other storylines that could be more interesting.
They're not. They're not. You could try. They're not. Cara left for a while. Laurel left for a while. Where did that lead you to? Back to Laurel and Cara. They're the two. they're the two Mountain Rushmore females of the challenge. Like, you can't. They tried it. They left for
let's
years.
be honest. What has Laurel really done to be? She's not a legend to me. I don't consider Laurel a legend. She has what, one championship?
Two. She's the most recent winner, solo winner, boy girl, beat them all.
I feel like she had so much wasted potential that I can't take her seriously because she's always so wrapped up in trying to get somebody's approval or attention from somebody else, girl, guy, doesn't matter. She just wants attention. I think if she ever focused on the game itself, she would have been the most dominating woman that we've ever seen in a challenge. But Cara came in, she worked on herself, got focused, and she took the challenge seriously, and she got a championship. So, I mean, I
the
take
same
Cara
amount.
Maria
She got the same amount as Laurel.
Like,
what are we talking about here? Laurel comes on, she dominates. She was 1 of 1 in the challenge. She beat everybody, guy, girl. First challenge back, she beats everyone. And then and she comes on the show and she fucks. Isn't that what we want? Like somebody comes on, hooks up every season with somebody new.
But
like
she whines.
She whines, and the thing is, I feel like the show relies heavily on this drama, where it's like, if they only knew that, like, if they come together, they would be such a fucking powerhouse. But they're too focused on like, I don't want to run a final with her, blah blah blah. Like they're so focused on not competing, like being better than the other one, that they're forgetting about like, you're not just competing with each other, you're competing with all these other 39 people. Like, forget about Laurel. You're competing against 39 other people.
It's like Magic Johnson and Larry Bird. They were always obsessed with the other one. Who's winning? Who won in college? Who won in the pros? And what happened? They made each other better. Right now, Cara is only competing against one person, and that's Laurel. And
that's herself. She's competing against herself.
Well, she didn't win. If she's only competing, she didn't win. Laurel came out and won. And Laurel, as much shit as she talks, she can feel Cara breathing down her neck every time, and that keeps pushing her to be better. That's why they're the two best, because they only compare each other to themselves to each other. I'm
gonna go ahead and give you guys an anime reference. All right, this is like Sasuke and Naruto. Laurel Sasuke, Carmaria's Naruto. She just wants Laurel's approval every time, and Laurel just like, no, back away. You guys don't get it, but those people out there get it. So it's like, it's also that for you leaves out there. Sasuke and Naruto.
I feel.
But you know what? The day that she gets is the worst thing that'll happen to a challenge.
Why do you say that?
Because that'll make her complacent. The fact that Laurel keeps like her at bay and saying it's like, nah, you're not better than me. You're not as good as me. It's that burning fire.
I feel it. Maybe, and I mean, it's a downfall for both of the girls that it leaves the door open for another girl to be a true champion, because they're so focused on each other that we'll get a chance to see some of these other girls shine. And
Mhm.
because it does. Both Laurel and Cara Marie are very emotionally based females, so it affects them. It affects their game. Now, Laurel sometimes and Cara can use it to their advantage to do better, but it's usually when they're mad at each other. But then, like, when we've seen in past seasons, Laurel and her little breakups or issues, then she just falls apart. She's like a mess the whole season. So maybe we'll get another really great female, because there are some this season that, when we were watching, I was like, if they would just really have the heart, if they have the drive, if they wanted it, they could take on Laurel and Cara Marie. They just have to want it as much as those girls want it.
But even if
who
they-
can do it?
My belief, and I don't know, and I'm not being biased, I just feel like physically the only girl that might be able to really do it is Naya. She's as big as Laurel, if not bigger, height-wise, like length-wise. She's strong. Her body's solid. That girl body is made to be an athlete, to destroy people. She could take on
Yes.
some of the men if she really
Yes.
wanted to.
Yes, I agree with that. And that's what I guess I'm trying to say is like, there are other people and other dynamics that I'm interested in. But because, I don't know, the production has like tunnel vision and like focused so much on this drama, like I'm personally over it. It's like, I'm tired of seeing it. Like, I get it. It's been multiple seasons of this situation where I just don't care anymore.
I can
So,
understand.
and
I feel more with Paulie. That's my feeling every time I see Paulie on the screen. I'm like, oh my God, just please.
don't get me
I'm
started.
sorry. I'm sorry, Paulie. I'm sure you're a nice man, but the minute I saw his face, I was like, can we not? I think,
Don't.
one, I like Cara Marie better by herself.
Yes.
And two, can we just not, Paulie?
Paulie is like an enigma, and I talk as somebody who drafted him on my team, and I'm like trying to root for him. Like, I'm trying to root for him. It's tough because he'll, on the one end, he's definitely a ride or die for Cara, and that's commendable. Like, he comes like seasons later and at Theo, like, you threw a challenge to get her in, so I still have beef with you, and that's a true ride or die. On the other end, he comes in and he's like, I have fringes in the house, but they're quiet because that's the way I like it. And I'm like, shut up, dude. Like, shut the fuck up.
I don't got no friend. But I like Paulie. I don't like him, but I like what he tried to represent when he came onto the scene. He came in.
What has he tried to represent?
He tried to take on
pirate.
everybody. Like, he didn't care who it was. I think it was Johnny at the time. Whoever was there, he wanted to take out the legends. That's what I liked. It was new blood. Somebody that didn't care about alliances or anything. He just wanted to go at them, go at the challenges, go at it, go extreme, go bigger, go home. So that's what I liked about him. Now, do I like how he was over the challenge? No, because he didn't do shit, but he tried.
Well, correction. He did kiss somebody. So,
he did have most
Without-
epic kisses.
Without their consent.
That is true.
Without their
We don't
consent.
condone that.
Oh, better. All right. So, Paulie.
I'm not ready for this conversation about Paulie.
So, Paulie and Theo, the kiss. I had forgotten about that, but then as soon as it happened, I was like, shit, I forgot about this.
Flashback.
Cringe. It was cringe.
I want to start with you, Victor, because you're like, there's not much here. And I'm like, no. If there's I don't like, somebody else could have beaten me 10 times in the challenge. If one dude kissed me on the challenge, I'd be like, that's my enemy for life. I'm coming back just to beat him.
Why are they reliving this kiss over and over again? It's like, come on, guys, let's move on. It happened. Like, somebody likes bringing it up. I don't know which one of them does it all the time, but just let it go.
I think it's Theo.
I think it's Theo too, because it's like, well, if it was me and some random person kissed me, I'd bring it up too. Like, what is wrong with like that? Like, and I'm never gonna forget it. Like, we're always gonna have beef if you did some weird thing like that. Like,
But that was crazy. That kiss was crazy, though. I'm not gonna lie. That was crazy.
I feel like
I would say like top 3 speechless moments of all the seasons. I just sat there because I was like, what did I just watch? Like,
it was cringe. And a part of me just feels like Theo can't articulate why it bothered him so much. Forget about like if he's straight or not. It's much deeper than that. And certain conversations aren't about like race, but I do feel like in this situation, he's having a hard time grappling with like what the F like this whole power dynamic. And I don't know, even now talking about it, I'm like, it just brings me back to that. It like undermines his perspective. It takes away his autonomy. It trivializes his perspective. There's just so many things fucking wrong with that besides just like, it's weird. Just like, why would you just kiss somebody? It's a power dynamic.
I disagree with this so hard. The power dynamic,
Really?
the power dynamic was Theo trying to cower over a short king like Paulie. Don't come
Oh
over
my-
here all twin tower over me and not expect me to
He was short.
get up in your face.
Eric's riding
Listen.
or dying for
It
Paulie
was a
right
little
now.
tiny.
Listen, I'm not a short king, but I admire my short kings out there. 6'1". Believe that. I'll stand up for you. But like, I'm not gonna disrespect a short king like that and then not expect a little peck on the.
Okay.
So
Okay.
is that the defense of a shorter male is to start kissing a taller male? Is that
I mean, that'll get them away, right? I guess.
maybe, but it didn't really work there. I mean, it just made for a lot of entertainment because I feel like if we watch it back, I think everybody just started dying laughing, and poor Theo just stood there because like, what do you
crying.
do?
Yeah.
I'm
Mandem was
crying.
confused. Mandem was
I think
confused.
what it was just two guys that didn't want to back down and see who can get one over on the other one, and then it just got out of hand.
Get out of here.
Yeah, it got way out of hand. That was crazy. I
Like
don't
that
know,
was
man.
his only like tool in the toolbox was just to like go on his tippy toes and like kiss Theo. That's it.
Hey, Eric,
Tippy
that's,
toes is sick.
Eric, you know your team, Eric. That's on your team, man. You went for like a Cinderella kiss
The
moment.
disrespect.
I think I saw his foot go behind it for a second.
You think he like lifted the leg after the
Yeah, I
kiss?
think I saw that, man. I think I saw that. Just saying.
For number 2, they definitely got to do the Spider-Man upside down one.
In the rain.
Paulie just go
Yes.
on the bunk bed. Just,
I think the problem is Paulie wants to
I'm
act tough,
crying.
and he did this in Big Brother too. He tries to take on personas instead of just being himself. He wears this mask, and that to me, he was trying to act like, see, I'm this tough guy, I'm rugged, I can buck my chest. And when he realized I have no idea what I'm doing, I'm this close to this guy now, bucking my chest, what's the next move? Now, why is kissing what he would do next? I'm not really sure, but clearly he didn't know his next move, and that was it.
I'm crying.
Just kidding.
but here's why I did like that. Like I didn't like the cliffhanger ending, but I did like that face off mostly because a lot of people on the challenge wouldn't directly call out, the person that they were trying to get voted in. So if Theo's going around the house saying, I want Paulie, if he's on the table, I want to go against him. Paulie finds out about it, brings it up at the deliberation, and says, I heard you've been saying my name. And Theo didn't back down. He's like, if somebody's got to take you out, if it's got to be me, then it is what it is. Let's do this. And a lot of people would have been like just trying to play it off.
I like the more direct approach they're kind of taking now to where they're just calling people out. I think this season is going to be a season where a lot of feuds are resolved or created, but I think there's going to be a lot of clashing, and I like that. I like that for the game.
So, speaking of clashing, I want everybody to kind of rate this tactic. So, Amanda comes to the table and looks at Tori dead in her eye. Tori won the challenge. Amanda looks at her because she's on the block for many getting voted in against Naya and says, I don't like you. I never liked you. I never will like you. I will never be your friend. But we share some friends, so that could be good, right? How about rate that tactic from a 1 to 10 for me?
I don't think she was
3?
thinking that through. Yeah.
You know what? No, I thought it was actually sound. I'm going to give it like a 6 because she was like, she's not trying to sugarcoat anything. She was like, look, there's no way I'm going to like you. No way you're going to like me.
She was
But-
desperate. She was desperate.
But she's like, but we have friends in common. So you helping me is like you kind of helping yourself out because we'll keep the. I mean, it makes a little sense.
Yeah.
Come on, it makes some sense. A little bit.
No.
A little bit.
The thing that makes it disingenuous to me is like she didn't have to go that far. She could have just been like, cool, but we don't have to butt heads. No, she had to go the extra step. It was like, I don't like you. There's things about you that I'll never agree. Like, she took the time to like show her up in addition to trying to like make amends. And it's just like, as much as she thinks she says she's real, that's fake to me. Don't pretend like we're trying to work here together when all you're trying to do is taking digs at me when I'm in a position of power. Like, get out of here.
But she never said she wanted to work with her, though. She just said, we have friends in common. If you keep me safe, it's indirectly keeping you safe because I want to keep those friends here and they want to keep you safe.
Which is, I don't think that's necessarily all that true. I feel like Amanda needs Tori 1,000,000 times more than Tori needs Amanda.
True.
Tori doesn't need Amanda for anything. So for her to say that, it's like, who do you think you are? Like, what kind of Delulu land do you live in? I need you because we have the same friend? No. Just no. I think, yeah.
I do think Amanda has a strength that they're lacking on that team from what I remember. I don't think they have too many people that are good in puzzles. Maybe Devin. Well, other than Devin, I don't think they have much.
I mean, maybe Devin, the best puzzle. Like,
all you need is Devin.
But
most of the times you got to get to the puzzle, and that's the tough part. Like, if you got to run or swim to the puzzle, she's not.
I feel like player in any way. She's not good at that either.
Yeah, she's a liability.
Yo,
she's
chills,
like
chills.
to me.
She's on my team. Chills.
Well, y'all gave me Corey, so whatever.
Corey won. Corey, we'll get to the points in a second, but we gave you a winner on the first one. But
yeah, we'll see. Listen, I was teen mom, so we'll
don't
see.
Have to be ungrateful.
Wait,
hold up.
I was gonna say, like, this whole cliffhanger situation. I feel like it's gonna be every other episode is gonna be a cliffhanger because you can't end all of the challenges and then the elimination challenge. Like, it's gonna be every other episode. I think every other episode. We should just like expect it to be a cliffhanger.
I might be in the minority here, but I kind of want a redemption house again. I kind of like the idea of.
I like that. Yeah, I kind of like that. Like Top Chef. If you watch Top Chef, they have like a what is it called? A last chance kitchen where you just fight your way back in. I wouldn't mind that.
Early though, I like it when it happens a little bit later down the line because if we already do it now.
Yeah.
Like, man, like, I don't know. Just sometimes I like to get a few of them out, even if I like the people, like, let's just get them out and let's start working with a smaller group and newer issues because then also we keep these same old issues if we keep all these same people just floating around.
All right. I'm trying to remember that whole table and the dynamic. Was it
Tony's telling him, throw in Jordan. If we have a chance to get him out now, we should take it. Plus, he would be going in again. He would be going in against Leroy. Yeah. So he's saying throw him in against Leroy, and Jordan's like, it's too big swings like that. So if you were in Corey's shoes, what would you have done?
If I was Corey, knowing how knowing how much she's been in the challenge, I would keep the best players on because there's going to be a twist. There's going to come to a point where you have to get to the final, like Jordan says. And Corey hasn't won a final yet. He has bad records. So I would want Jordan on there just for the experience he has in getting there. And then maybe towards the end, try to find a way to get him out. But without Jordan, their team loses so much in just athleticism, skill, experience, everything. So without Jordan, I don't think that team goes anywhere.
Yeah, I sort of agree with that. I think there's something very unique about Jordan. And it's like, he really goes in with a strategy. And like where most people rely heavily on alliances and like who can take them to the final, he relies on his own skill set and his strategy.
He went against with Darrell when they were in the tubes. And he's like, Darrell's got 30, 40 pounds on me. I'm never going to out-strength him. I'm just going to tire him out in this thing, not let him push me over. And when Darrell, sure enough, tired out, Jordan just rolled him over. Like, that was a big upset for the type of challenge because he uses his brain just as much as his brawn.
Yeah. And I feel like that's a piece that a lot of people forget. As they get closer to a final, they're like, crap, now I need a strategy. When people go in there, they're like, who do I know? Who's been my friend for the past 10 years? Who can I align with? Alignment doesn't effing matter. Like, it just doesn't. And like, and I said this in the last episode, you can have as many alliances as you want, but like, if there is no game plan, fuck your alliances. They can only take you so far. You need a strategy.
But aren't alliances part of the strategy?
If you play it smart. If you're just focused on who you know and what they can do for you.
I personally love with like Jordan in general, he keeps so many of his cards hidden. So even when you think you know what he's good at, you don't know what he's good at. Was it the axe swinging or like the chopping wood or something? People are like, because of his handicap. Yeah, we know we've seen him overcome it, but there's no way he's going to be good at that. And he's like, actually, I used to do this as a kid, like starts talking about like, I had to do this growing up. Like my dad made me do this. Amazing at it. Like, so he just, I don't know, he always surprises us. And that's what I like. He keeps very quiet on what he's really great at, even though he's boastful on some things. But it comes to some things where you're like, oh, there's no way, or even the Darrell situation. He's bigger, but he just keeps it real quiet and acts, like nothing, goes in there and just keeps his head down and then shows out with his strategy.
I agree with that.
Man, I just want to say that he's on my team. Haha, you can't have him.
Yeah.
Well, he's, good for you.
Yeah.
You just stole him from me.
He hasn't done anything yet.
Speaking of someone who I think could get as many championships or more than Johnny if she keeps at it, Anissa. So,
Yo, bro, chill.
So here's the thing. I want to point something out. Yes, she's still chasing that first ring, but I was not impressed to hear that she already has the all-time record in being in eliminations, but she's one win away from having the most elimination wins. And so is that final wins? No, but I think that's something like amazing to hang your hat on. So, I think last week we had some words about, what we may or may not be expecting from her, but I think one thing I expect from her is like she ain't going home without a fight, no matter what. So I want to shout that out.
Nora and I were actually talking about this the other day. Who is the best female elimination leader? I know Anissa is probably one of the best, but I think either Laurel or Cara Maria has the second.
Cara and Anissa are tied for the most elimination wins. Anissa has been in more, but they're tied for the most wins.
But is it
so? Yeah,
even fair to put her even in that category? And I'm just playing devil's advocate because it is still impressive. But she's been on how many seasons and been eliminated? So of course she's gone into multiple eliminations. For her to have that many wins and no championships in all these years, really, is it impressive, or is it kind of like nah, girl?
Listen, we can say that, oh, you've been in elimination so many times, you've been eliminated so many times, but no one wants to see her down there. I can guarantee, ask any of them, it's
injuries?
A reputational thing. Like, what I'm saying is, it maybe hasn't gotten to the results of the finals, but reputationally, we do got to put some respect on her name because she's knocked out Tori, she's knocked out many people in those eliminations. She's gone in multiple times in one season and gotten through. She's gotten to finals. I think we need to put a little more respect on the name.
Listen,
No.
I don't disagree with you. I don't disagree with you. But given the amount of injuries that she has gone through, and like, I don't know if you follow her on other social media, but she's been pretty vocal about like the stuff that she's gone through, like as a woman and this, and it's just like, I don't know. It's a very challenging to go on this
root for her in spite of
weeks.
those things. I root for her because of those things. The injuries, the situations, and she keeps coming back.
She's resilient. I get that.
I have a different stance. I think it's unfair. I think it's very selfish to come on. She obviously hasn't lost weight worked out. I mean, maybe she does work out, but she's not losing the weight to be able to run long distance. So for me, honestly, I would be like, throw me in every time. Let me prove I can do this. I should win every elimination to prove I can haul my ass through a finale. Like Big E. We watched what happened with Eric. I'll never give up. I'll never da-da-da. And what happened?
What burned out?
You took out your whole team, all those people, because your ass couldn't run a final. Stay at home.
Yeah.
We gotta
And
keep,
like,
Can't run a
we
final.
gotta keep
I'm
that
not-
same energy for CT then. CT is no spring
This-
chicken. CT is
No,
in
No,
CT
he's not.
shape.
And he has, but even at a bigger size, CT will keep running. And I'm not saying you have to be the fastest. I don't know this season, but the last couple seasons he's been on, even though, he's older, he can run. I mean, he's still not usually the last one through,
But is he chasing down
a certain thing.
Horacio?
No, but
No,
But
but
then it comes to the point.
But when it comes down to it, if you don't want to see Horacio in the final, and you say, man, we should put CT down in elimination, because in an elimination, that could be the difference maker of, do we have to face Horacio or Jordan in a final? I think that's what I'm saying with Anissa is they'll benefit from having, if they have to put a Laurel down there because they don't want to see Laurel in the final.
Mhm.
Anissa's one of the better picks you can have on your team and say, okay, Anissa, here's where you put in your work. You got a chance, puzzle queen, and can throw body around a little bit to see if we have a chance to knock out Laurel before this final.
Absolutely. I just wish she didn't cry about it every time and cry to them, please don't put me down. Like, girl, you can't run a final. Of course they're going to use you. And you think crying because you're liked and have friends means you should weigh down all these people's opportunity in a finale. Be like, I get it.
Well-
I need to prove myself. Let me.
Yeah, maybe when it's her ass on the line, she's acting a little bit selfish, but she's well liked in that house. She's well connected. Jody can run a final, but she said two words in that episode. She's got no connections in the house.
No,
Like-
she's just not a social player. Anissa's social, but I don't get why every season we have to watch a 10-minute montage of her crying to one of the bigger guys who's literally like, I'm telling you, you are going in. And she's crying, you're going to do this to me? You have no respect. I've been here this long. How many? Stop crying. Get your ass down there and prove yourself. Girl, if you were my friend, the minute you got home, I'd be like, what's wrong with you?
Okay, so welcome to the fashion challenge where style meets strategy. Our contestants are known for their strength, agility, and fierce determination. But tonight, it's all about how they bring their A game to the runway. The challenge isn't just about physical power, it's also about making a statement, and nothing says winner like a killer look. So Nora, take it away.
So I really, on this episode, I have to give it to my boy Paulie and his beautiful black shoulder cutout shirt. As soon as I saw it, I had to pause it because I was like, now that shirt looks really familiar. I was like, Victor, remember on our honeymoon, and this might get confusing because you guys are probably thinking, Victor might have worn that on our, no, I wore that on our
Definitely
honeymoon.
did not do that.
I wore that on our honeymoon. And then I had to question myself, did I buy a shirt that was maybe for men? I don't know. So then I went because, not trying to promote a popular retailer that many of us shop for very cheap clothing. But I went on there and it's a value pack. There's 4 shirts and it's in the women's section. And they're all cut out, and
Value
that black
pack,
shirt
that's
is in
serious.
there. It's a value pack. So
Yo, that's
when
crazy.
you see Cara Maria
My
later in the
cross-conscious king.
season wearing one of the other ones, now we know that Paulie and her are sharing a 4-pack of women's discounted from overseas clothes. And I just thought that was a beautiful thing right there. It made me feel special that on my honeymoon, me and Paulie matched. And I,
That's
who would have
crazy.
thought?
That's master work. I kind of defend Paula when she bought it. I think it might be like, because he had the sleeve on, somehow it might be like a wrestler kind of outfit. And then she brought up the receipts and the pictures and that.
Yeah, even the model.
Good,
Look at the
good,
model
good.
wearing the model in the shirt. You can see is 100% the shirt. It is the shirt. That is where the shirt is from. Now I don't know. Maybe they market it on the website to men too. I don't think so. And then I tried like Google searching it to see where else you get it, and it just kept coming up to that website, like for women's clothing. So
So is it a bodysuit where it like clips
it is
the
100% a
Yo,
bodysuit.
that's crazy.
Hold on.
That's
It's
crazy.
100%.
Okay. So, do we think that he got a little spicy during those interviews because the clip was like riding a little bit?
I'm long torso, so I struggle. But Paulie's a little smaller than me in that, so like I feel like he's probably comfortable in that little bodysuit, nice and snug, nice snappy.
I haven't had the pleasure of wearing one of these. So can you tell me like how does it function? Does it snap like towards the back or towards the front, or is it like
It's right in the middle underneath you, and it has
Right
three
in the-
buttons,
okay.
little like baby buttons, like on the baby
Okay.
clothes, little.
Yeah.
like the onesies, like the
Yeah,
onesies.
that album Paulie
Yeah.
out, man. Paulie
So do we
sick
think
as shit,
Paulie's
bro.
like got him nice and nested, or do we think like he's got him nice and
Tucked
tucked,
to the side? I
or
don't know.
do we think he's going like elephant trunk and camel tail, like without snapped, and inside he's just got these two flaps? It is
This
like
is wrong on
tails,
so many
two
levels.
tails.
yeah,
I
two
mean,
tails.
That's
he
true.
could have
This
two
is
tails because we only see half of him. But
This is wrong.
we are bound to see that bodysuit or the other three in the combo pack between him and Cara some point of the season, I feel. Because you have to think, she's kind of muscular and he's muscular, so they probably could wear around the same size. So, like, they probably shared that. They're like, it's a 4-pack. Let's split it up.
I mean, they
know?
share the same feather extensions.
Exactly.
Why
Share
not
what?
share the feather
Feather
extensions?
Yeah.
Um,
So I thought we really had to, for this week for fashion, I needed Paulie. One, I was proud. I was like, look, I own a shirt that somebody on the challenge has. I just didn't think it would be Paulie, but it's okay. I'll
that might
take
be
it.
one of his things. He misses Rivalries. Like
It's on a
It's got a
onesie?
scent.
I can't do that series like this. Well,
I
so ask the audience, who do you guys think wore better? Our lovely wife or Paulie? And then let us know in the comment section below.
All right, so I think it's time to look at our squads and see how we're doing after our draft last week. So, Victor, what's the points looking like?
All right, guys, on the screen is what we have so far. Playing the daily challenge is Laurel, Tori, Bananas, Horacio, CT, Michelle, Rachel, and Tori. Now, Michelle and Rachel both got points lost for crying, which we have. And then we also have Rachel and Corey also losing points for mentioning their kid. Now, we don't have problem with kids here. Our cats have kids. We never have blocks kids. But talking about too much just kind of takes away from it. So you need some points for that. In terms of us, so far, Nora has -12. Ouch. Not good at all.
Ooh,
That's rough. Eric is in the lead with 14. I have 10. Catching up to Eric. And Raquel has 4 points. Oh, still this episode, still anybody's game, but this is the dark points we have so far. Anyone have any
I have a late
matches?
bloomer team, that's all.
If anyone have any arguments to make for any matches or mayhem points?
So there's a couple of points that were lost here. I want to point out the funniest one. Right off the bat, CT lost a point for crying. He
yeah.
couldn't help himself, but when
Poor thing.
When did you cry?
he cried right when TJ
Oh.
opened up, he's like,
10 seconds in.
he got emotional. Raquel and I look at
CT.
each other like, 1 point, fuck your tears.
Yeah.
So that was hilarious. And you know what else? Here, I don't want to hear no more about nobody's kids. All right, people need to stop saying who I'm doing this for. Hey, this isn't the fucking fund my kids' educational future show. This is the challenge. We want bodies. We want violence. We want hookups. We want all of that. I don't want, I want to get my daughter a pony. So enough, Corey.
Now that you mentioned that, I wish Sarah would have been on the show instead of Anissa.
Good time.
She should have been on the show.
Instead of Anissa?
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
She made it
I
to
would
a
prefer
freaking
Sarah
final.
to Anissa. I
She
think
made
I would
it
prefer
to a
her.
final.
I would prefer her.
She made it to a final.
this is recency bias. You want to talk about whiny and
He was lying.
entitled?
She made it to
She
a
was
final
entitled.
where
Whining
she
her way to it.
He didn't
Crying
want
her way to it. And you know what her career is remembered for now? Crying because Johnny stole her money when she stabbed him in the back first.
That was
Talk
I
about
fine.
love
the
that.
ultimate
That's
whiner.
great TV. That's great
Was.
TV.
And so
I'd
is
cry about the
Anissa.
money
Sorry.
too.
No, she's not. This is
Okay.
not great TV at all. Yeah.
Hypocrites.
You know
Hypocrites.
when it
Horrible
was great
TV.
when Anissa was great TV is when she was hooking up with all the guys, and it was like when she hooked up with Tori. Like I think we
All
forget
girls,
about
all
that.
girls, they don't
Like-
discriminate here.
Yeah, no, like-
yeah.
I would, you look at Corey and you're like, oh, look at this handsome young guy, and then he's in bed with Anissa. Go ahead, Anissa. That I give her more props for that than her ability on the actual challenge.
She's probably got more bodies than eliminations. So
That's
I'm all
crazy.
for
Most
that.
likely,
Nasty
yeah,
work.
and there's no shame in that.
yeah.
So a little late on the hookups here. Actually, I don't think there's any. So there was no match points made. Mayhem points, I think, might be limited to Paulie and Theo. They each gained a point for that little tussle at the end of the episode. But I think we're just settling into the scoring. Hopefully, we also stop losing points for all these kid mentions throughout the season. You got to get that out of the system.
No.
But
Hopefully.
but other than that, I think it's kind of settling down. I do want to open it up for a question. Could be based on the points or based on something else. Who are your MVPs for the episode?
Do they have to be on my team?
No, anyone.
The only person I can say is Laurel because she beat out everybody. Like,
Yeah, I was just gonna
I have to
say.
give her
Very
that.
fun.
She beat the men and the women. So I'm like, I guess her. But kind of what is what I'm thinking.
So I do have to throw. This is not like my final MVP, but I think he gets some votes. We gotta give props to Devin, man. Broke his boat, sunk his boat,
Oh my god.
and like at that point you're like, okay, so he's coming in last. He's on the chopping block, and still manages to swim, get all his lights, and beat Leroy in the challenge to kind of save his skin. So I think he's got to get some props there because I think he has a reputation, obviously, of being more of a jokester and more of the puzzle guy. But he's won a final now, and now he's doing these feats of like, I'm not giving up till they say I'm done. So I think that was pretty cool. But to me, my MVP is CT. When you can go on here and be like, I'm gonna brand my own segment on the challenge and call it CT's Pro Tips, and throughout the episode just tell us,
Yeah.
yo,
Yeah.
here's what you should be doing, here's where you went wrong. Like that's an MVP right there. He's coming in
Yeah.
guns a blazing.
That's why I picked them.
Hopefully the back holds up.
Hey, well.
I hope
Don't-
his
don't
old
believe
man
everything
gets
you
them
see
and
on
he keeps
TV.
crying.
All right. You know what? I'm sick of this. I want to put a bet on the table for you, Victor.
What it?
5 points.
Okay.
If Anissa goes home before CT, 5 of my points go to you.
Only
Whoa.
five? I think it
If
should be more than
CT
five.
goes home before Anissa, no matter for whatever reason, if he goes home before Anissa, 5 of your points go to me.
No. Make it 7 points.
That
7
gets too
points.
close to TJ's final.
7 points. 7 points. You're so sure of your girl, Anissa. 7 points.
Listen,
7 points. Look, 7 points. You saw CT on his back,
I'm
right?
sure-
On the trailer. See,
I'm
who
sure
goes home first?
in my girl, but I'm also not going to underestimate CT. You're the one who's underestimating Anissa.
No, I know exactly what she's worth.
7 points. Done.
There you go. I got on
7
the books.
points.
On the books.
On the books. We shall
These
see.
big bets. I think you guys
Yeah,
could
you're
have
negative
these.
4.
No, I'm negative 14 or something. I don't know. I'm
Oh,
negative
yeah.
a lot. That's why I'm like, you guys can make bigger bets. It's okay. Keep going. Make it 10.
We'll see. All
Alright,
right.
so we're wrapping up episode 1.
Bye. Hey.